Santo Papasaha Santo Anrita Asatya Anrita Asatya Idam Padam Ajanata Idam Padam Ajanata Gabhiram Idam Padam Ajanata Gabhiram Papasaha Santo Anrita Asatya Idam Padam Gabhiram. Rigveda 4.5.5. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮೇಲೆತ್ಬೇಕು ಆನಂದ್ ಅವರು. ಅಲ್ಲ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ರೈಟ್. ಪಾಪಾಸಹ ಸಂತೋ ಅನೃತ ಅಸತ್ಯ ಇದಂ ಪದಂ ಅಜನತ ಗಭೀರಂ. ಋಗ್ವೇದ 4th ಮಂಡಲ 5th ಸೂಕ್ತ 5th ಮಂತ್ರ 4.5.5. Life is a mixture of ups and downs, and most of the time we say if there is an up, oh, it's because of my effort, it's I who has done it. But it's a down, we start complaining because of so and so, because of God who is not merciful, I'm in this position, so we start complaining and finding out the fault for that fall elsewhere. Is our usual nature and behavior of an ordinary person. But what's the reality? What's the reality? So look at the reality, things are totally different. Here they are speaking about the downfall. That is Gabhiram. Gabhiram, it is the abyss. ABYSS, abyss. Abyss means it's a deep valley, the base of which I am not able to see from the top. It is such a deep valley, deep crack. It's a deep hole. Abyss, am I right with that word ABYSS?
Yes.
Abyss. Gabhiram is having such a depth, I'm not able to see the bottom at all. Or to be a bit exaggerative, I can say it is a bottomless hole. Bottom will be there, but it's so deep, I'm not able to see its bottom. Now, such a padam situation, where falling into such an abyss, it doesn't happen automatically. It doesn't happen because of somebody's fault. It is ajanata. Jani pradurbhave. It is created by us only. We only create such a situation and fall into such an abyss. It's nobody's fault. we are given little freedom, not much. Because we are given little freedom, whatever we do within that framework, we only are answerable and we only are responsible for it. We cannot blame XYZ. What is that freedom? Earlier also I have told you, Swatantram. Kartum, Akartum, Anyatha Kartum Shakti, Swatantram. That's how they define it. Kartum, Akartum, Anyatha Kartum Avakasha. If I am free to do something, Kartum, that is, I should have an opportunity to do it if I like. Akartum, if I don't want to do it, yes, I need not do it. Anyatha Kartum, okay, I do it not in this way, I do it in a different way. Fine. If all the three opportunities are available, if all the three avenues are available under my control, yes, I am said to be free. A person who is not free will be forced to do a certain thing, will be prevented from doing a certain thing, and will not have an opportunity to do it the way they think. It's prescribed, they have to do it in that way only. So that is not freedom. Freedom is kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum shakti. That is freedom. That is a wonderful thing. In this Vedic literature and Vedic thought, every word they use, they would have defined it wonderfully well. Now freedom, yes, freedom is known to us, that what is known to us, but how do we define it? I think this is the best definition we can get for it. Kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum shakti. Ivan pada tegipama. Yaradru obru. Dakiram. So padam, padagato, a status, a position. Ajanata jani pradurbhave. Gambhiram padam ajanata. So this abysmal condition is created by ourselves. Gabhiraha Mahannama.
Okay.
Gabhiraha Mahannama. That's Nirukta. Asatya. Gabhiraha Mahannama. That's the deepest thing. From Gabhira only we get the word Gambhira. Gambhira means deep thought. Say, you please think about this in a Gambhira way. That's why we say Gambhirataya Chintaniyam. That means we should go deep into this subject and understand what it is. So going deep is what is called as Gambhira. Gambhira iti Mahannama. That's in Nirukta. So such a, now this is in a negative sense, such a fall which has no base at all is being created. It doesn't happen on its own, it's created. That is situation, that is status, that a position is created, ajanata. It is our own creation, it's our own folly, it's our own problem. We could have avoided it, but we have created it. We ourselves have generated it. We ourselves have deliberately gone and fallen into that abyss. How? Now that's the other part of it. Idam padam. This sort of a condition has been created, generated by us only, which is so deep, which is an abyss, because of, number one, Papasaha santaha, anrita santaha, asatya santaha. I have enlisted 3 points. Santa means being.
Okay.
Being so. We ourselves have created such an abyss, being santaha, papasaha, anrita, asatya. Papasaha, by doing all bad deeds. The root for it is parakshane. Parakshane. That is, those from which we should have protected ourselves. That is papa. Parakshane is there. The meaning is, we should have protected ourselves from it, but we did not. We indulged in it. Our indulging in it, we should have not been done. Yes, we have created such a situation where this abyss today. So who is responsible? It is we only. An opportunity to avoid it, an opportunity to bypass it, but we didn't do it. We involved in such activities which harms the soul. Okay. Spiritually. We should have protected ourselves from it, but we didn't do it. What's the result? To fall in that abyss. Papa Saha.
Sharma ji, Papa Saha, that is Visarga?
Huh?
That is Visarga, Papa Saha?
Papa Saha.
Visarga?
Visarga is there. Yes, you are right. Visarga. Papa Saha. Papa Saha. That is a Visarga. Yes. That is being sinful, being a sinner. Papa Saha Santaha, being a sinner. What is that sin? We should not have done it. What we should not do, what is prohibited, is a sin. So we deliberately did it. We are free not to do it, but we did it. What is the result? Padama Janata Gabhiram. A big abyss we created for ourselves and we have fallen into it. Anrita. Rata is dharma. Unfortunately, I don't find an equivalent word in English for dharma. Dudhai dharana poshana yoho. Rata ru gatau. A dharmic way of life. A humane way of life. The closest. A friendly way of life. Maitri Jivana. All put together is the dharma, Manava dharma. Rita Rilgato, it also says Rita. It's a straightforward way of living. No heights, no seeks. I'm open, frank, transparent. I've got nothing to hide. Okay. I have nothing to cheat. I have nothing to build up. I'm just as I am. I am visible and transparent. That is Rita. Opposite of it is Amrita. To create things, to show off things, and what I show is something different from what I am inside. I speak something, I think something, I do something else. There is no correlation between what I think, what I do. All the three are in three different directions. And this is a problem. This is called as anrita. Most of the time we do it. Most of the time we do it. Knowingly or unknowingly. What is the result of it? Padamajanata Gabhiram. We create for ourselves that big abyss and fall into it. It's our own creation. We have dug it. We have dug it. Nobody has forced it on. We ourselves have dug our grave, which is a deep abyss. Anrita. Asatya. In Nirukta they say, Satyam Kasmat. Satyam Kasmat. Satsu Tayate. Satsu Tayate iti Satyam. Satsu Tayate iti Satyam. Why we call it as Satya? Satsu tayate. Tayate tayama. Because it is protected by noble people.
Okay.
Satsu tayate. Tayate is to get protected, to get nourished, to get cherished. Because noble people support it, because noble people hold on to whatever thing noble people hold on to, that's all Satya. That's how Nirukta defines it, Satya. Tayir Santana Palana Yoho. Tayir Santana Palana Yoho.
Sharmaji, how to write Tayir?
Tayir, that is a swara R.
Okay.
Tayir. Ta dirgha.
Okay.
Ya. And it vowel R.
Ast.
I, U, R. That one. Tayir.
Ast.
In English, whatever it is, T, A, R, U, and below that R we put a dot usually, if it's a swara. Tayir. T, A, R, U, below R we put one dot, phonetic symbol. That becomes Tayir. If I don't put it, it becomes Tayiru, Ru, Yaru. If I put a dot, it is swara. That is in vowel. Tayir. Tayir Santana Palana Yoho. Tayir Santana Palana Yoho. So what the noble people, Satsu Tayate, what in noble people, it gets generated and it gets protected, it gets practiced, that is Satya. The opposite of it, Asatya. So we generate something nasty, we generate something dirty, and we protect that, we follow it. What's the result? Idam padam ajanata gabhiram. So we fall into that big abyss and lose ourselves. A serious warning to every human being has to check what they are doing, what they are following, what they are thinking, what they are talking, every moment, every step of their life. We cannot just close our eyes and walk on. No. We have to assess where we are. We have to assess, evaluate every step we take and tread very, very carefully. Jagrata Santa. That should have been the case. But you are Papasa Santa. So this is a very wonderful warning given by the Vedas in this Rig Veda 4.5.5. Now Papa is also defined as Patayati Atmanam iti Papam. It doesn't support the soul. It just leaves the soul to fall down. And the soul falls down and gets hurt because it is weak. Only the weaklings get hurt. If a person is strong, they can never get hurt. Spiritually, physically, mentally, whatever level you take it. A strong person can never be hurt. Simple. Person is weak, they automatically get hurt. It may be me or you or anyone. Say I fall down. I am quite strong, nothing will happen. I fall down. My bones are not strong. That's what they call it as medically osteoporosis. So the condition of osteoporosis, the bones are not strong, they are brittle. What will happen if that person, if he has even a simple fall, the bones get cracked. Say if a situation is not comfortable. Okay, if my mind is not strong, I immediately become a psychic patient. But if your mind is strong, okay, I can take it and move along with it. Nothing will happen. Why? Because my mind is strong. Same thing with the spirit also, the soul also, the Atma also. If the Atman is strong, nothing will happen. It will not fall. Even if it falls, it doesn't have any difficulty. It will just handle and it will come up out of it. It will get up and move. But if it's weak, if it's a fall forever. For a long time. It takes a long time to pick up. Because it's not strong. So falling is related to weakness. Standing straight and strong is related to the purity of the soul. That are related to one another. So purity and strength go together. Impurity and weakness go together. So papasa is such a condition where the soul is weak, is not strong. So when it falls, it's a great fall. What is a great fall? That is falling into the abyss. Gabhiram, padam, ajanata, idam, this. So this great abyss is created by the very person, ajanata. They have created it. It was not there. But they themselves dug their grave by being papasaha. So this I have explained several times. It's better to repeat it once again. So to react without thinking is very easy. So generally in our anger, for example, we react suddenly. So this reaction, which is sudden, when we are in a state of anger, is very easy. So what happens will not protect us. But even under such a condition, if I control myself, if I control my anger and understand the situation, evaluate the situation and react in the right way, yes, things will happen very well. Now for that, we need strength. For that, we need purity of the soul. If it's not strong, it will immediately react, that's all. Mere reacting is different. To think and react is different. To think and react, we should have a little control on our own selves. So that needs strength. So immediate reflex action is not intelligence. And it represents or it shows us that the soul is weak, the soul is not pure, and whatever we do in such a condition is all papa. Because it is patayati atmanam. It allows the soul to fall down. Punati atmanam iti punyam, the opposite of it. That which purifies the soul. Another example. So violence and non-violence. Violence is animal-like, automatic. Somebody hits me, I hit back, over. That's the end of it. But ahimsa is not that. Even if I am hit, I tolerate it, give a friendly reaction. That requires a lot of strength and tolerance. So tolerance and non-violence is stronger and purer, gives us strength and purity, whereas violence is animal-like. It's not humane. It's an immediate reaction that any animal does. You hit it, it hit back, over. So that which purifies, that which gives strength to the soul is punyam. Opposite of is papam. And being in that state of papam, being in that state of sin, being, that is santaha, being in that state, what happens? We create our own abyss and fall into it. We cannot blame anyone. That's a very important thing. Whatever difficulties you are into, whatever problems you are into, whatever fall we are into, who is responsible? 100% it is me and me only. I cannot blame anyone. On the other hand, if I am successful, of course my effort is there, I am not denying it, but just my effort will not result in success. There are so many other forces which help me out to reach that state of success. Success, I work for it, and so many forces are helping me. So I'm indebted to all those forces till there is a success. And if there is a fall like this, Gabhiram padam ajanata, it is my own creation and I cannot blame any. What we do generally, we do the opposite. And it is a success, I claim it 100%. If it is a fall, I find out some target to comment about, and because of this it happened, and I will not take the responsibility. That's the funny aspect of it. It's the opposite. And it's a success, I have to share it with others. So many forces which have helped me, known and unknown. Known forces, okay, X, Y, Z, they have helped me in such a way. So all the unknown factors, they call it by one word, that is Daiva. Daiva is unknown. So more and more I know about it, is the portion of Daiva becomes less and less. But when it is a failure, please note that it is because of our own mistake, our own ignorance that it has resulted. Not only ignorance, because of our papasaha, anrita, leading an unholy life, not leading a human life. Asatya, that is untruthful. We lead an untruthful life. And the result is that abyss. Our truth also we have defined earlier. That which is the same for all, at all places, at all times. That's one way of looking at it. Another one is, Satya is nothing but honesty. Satya and honesty, they are the two faces of the same coin. You call it honest, it has to be true. If you call it true, it has to be honest. So what is that honesty? How do you define it? It's very simple. It is the focused thought, words and actions. All the three must be focused into one. There should not be any difference between the three. Then we say it is honest. If I think something, talk something, do something else, yes, he is dishonest. Three karana, they call it as three karana. That's the three ways of doing it. That is, one is thinking, talking and practicing. There should be trikarana shuddhi. So what is the trikarana shuddhi? All the three must be the same, complementary to one another. There should not be any difference between the three. Then we say trikarana shuddhi, and the trikarana shuddhi is satya, that is called as honesty. That is, whatever I think, I should express the same thing. I should be very frank, open. Right or wrong, whether the opposite person likes it or not, that's a different issue. I have got this in my mind, I am expressing it. So what I am expressing, the same thing I have got in my mind also, nothing else. And what I talk, I do. Whatever I talk, whatever I profess, I practice. There is no difference between the two. Now that is honesty. If a person says something, yes, you should be convinced that the person will do accordingly. If a person does something, you should be sure that the person will talk the same thing and will think the same thing. That's honesty. That is truth. If you are in that line of truth, if you are in that line of transparent life, straight life, dharmic life, and if you are in that punya life, that's a noble life, yes, we are all saved. We are all saved. Nothing will happen under this situation. But if it's the opposite, yes, we are creating our own abyss, we are creating our own grave and falling into it. So it's a great warning that is given in this Veda mantra piece. Papasa santaha anruta asatya idam padam ajanata gabhiram. We have our own, by our own mistake, deliberately we have created, and finally we complain that somebody did it, somebody did it. No. It's our own creation. Padam ajanata. Jani pradurbhave. It was not there. It was wonderful. It's a beautiful garden. But in that beautiful garden, I myself created this deep valley and fallen into it. And what are the instruments with which I did this? Papasaha, anrita, asatya. See? With these tools, we cannot create a beautiful palace. We are creating only our grave. That grave, which is very, very deep, the deepest grave, that is Gabhiram. The deepest grave we are creating. So if you are aware of this, This mantra is instilled in us. Yes, everything we think, every word we utter, every action we implement, we'll be very careful. We ourselves check at every step whether I'm digging my grave or whether I'm building a beautiful garden, whether I'm building a beautiful palace. Both are in our own hands. Both are in our own hands. It's our choice. If I willfully dig my grave, yes, I'm the one who is going to fall into it. If I build a wonderful palace or a garden, it's I myself again who live in that. So this is the way they explain the warners. Papasa santaha anruta asatya idam padam ajanata gabhiram. So let us be very careful. Because in another way they say it in elsewhere, that is, whatever thought we think, whatever word we utter, whatever action we do, it's all like preparing a recipe. It's a recipe. So into it we put all these things, my thoughts, my words, my actions. Finally, something will be cooked. And whatever I have cooked, I myself have to eat. The same thing is here. It's my own creation. It's my own creation. If I don't want to fall into an abyss, so it's totally the other way around. Don't indulge in papa. Don't lead a life of hook or crook. Don't lead an untruth or a dishonest life. You're saved. No abyss at all. You can live in a beautiful garden, you can live in a beautiful palace. And enjoy the life now and after. If you're not careful about it, yes, the whole thing is totally different. The whole thing is a big abyss with darkness, which is our own creation. That's very important. Padam ajanata, we only have created it. We need not have, but we have done it. So let us be careful. Next one. Tasmin idam sam cha vichayiti sarvam. Tasmin idam sam cha vichayiti sarvam. Tasmin idam sam cha vichayiti sarvam. Yajurveda 32.8. Yajurveda 32.8. Tasmin idam samcha vichayiti sarvam. Yajurveda 32.8. Sam is usually used to denote coming together. Some coming together, being together. Vichayati, vi plus chaiti, chinchayane. Chana is to collect. Chayana is to collect. Vichayana, here V is opposite. Vichayana means whatever is collected is dispersed. Vichayati. It gets dispersed. Some it comes together, Vichayati gets disintegrated. Some is to get integrated. Sarvam, everything. Everything gets integrated. Cha and Vichayati gets disintegrated. Idam sarvam, all this, at all levels, micro to macro, they all get integrated and disintegrated, where tasmin in that. And what is that? The simple guess now. That is Satchidananda. Yes. Satchidananda. So Satchidananda is one in which everything gets integrated, and from that only everything gets disintegrated. So it is referring to the creation of the universe and the pralaya, And the whole creation gets shattered and goes back to its original state. When I say creation, we should be very clear. Many times I have repeated, basic three entities, Sat, Satchit and Satchidananda, they are not created. Should be very clear. These are the basic fundamental entities. Sat is the whole inner world, which gets translated or transformed into the 5 elements and the Panchabhautika Jagat. And we got Satchit, that's the souls which exist and are aware of their existence, which are conscious. Then we got Satchidananda, which exists, which is omniscient and also bliss, Ananda. The source of bliss, the very bliss incarnate. Sat, Satchit, Satchidananda. These are the 3 entities that have been existing since time immemorial, Anadi, Ananta. They exist forever, eternal. On that base, this Satchidananda has created, now comes the question of creation, has created this universe using Sat as the raw material for the sake of Satchit. And that is creation. Because whatever is created, it has no reason or it has no value for this Sat. We are inert. It's just laying, it's dead. It has no experience, it has no action or reaction other than physical. Satchit, yes, with the help of a Sharira Indriya Manas created by the Sat. But unfortunately, this Satchit is not capable of creating its own Sharira Indriya Manas. Some other agency is required. What is it? That is Satchidananda. And whatever is created, this whole universe, it is of no use to Satchidananda because already it is in a blissful condition. That itself is bliss. So the whole purpose of this universe is for the Satchit. Why? To work out for a state where it can experience Ananda. For that it needs a tool, and that tool is created by Sat. And that's a relationship between Sat, Satchit and Satchidananda. Now in this condition, I was telling this whole universe, it is under the control of the Satchidananda. Satchit, before getting Sharira Indriya, Sat, even before becoming Panchabhutas, now where it is, who takes care of it? Now it's all integrated into Satchidananda. And in that state, there is no creation, there is no universe, there is no Sharira Indriya Manas for Satchit, and even that Sat is in its primal form, which we have discussed earlier as Ambhaha. Ambhaha. Now the modern name, not to Ambhaha, but at a different level. Today they are calling it as the God particle. The God particle. Higgs boson particle. That's what they are calling it. Presently, latest name for it. Now this Ambhaha is subtler than this Higgs boson particle, than this God particle. It is still smaller and smaller and smaller. That's a primal unit of building up of this whole universe. How it was in that state. And whose control? Satchidananda. So it was the one which was holding it. And from that primal raw material, it created this whole universe. Everything got created. Everything got into a system. Everything was integrated. And it runs, the whole system, the whole universe runs for crores and crores of years. But because it is integrated, one day or the other, it has to get disintegrated. Not immediately, but over crores of years. That's what they call it as Brahmadina. Brahmadina. That's a day of the universe. Brahma is the universe, the biggest thing. In that one phase, in that one Brahmadina, the whole universe flourishes. The whole universe exists, the whole system works. And at the end of this Brahmadina, it just disintegrates. And who is responsible for disintegration? And who holds it during that condition of disintegration? The same Satchidananda. Samcha Vichaiti Sarvam Idam Sarvam. Everything 100%. Nothing is excluded. Exhaustively, the whole universe gets integrated and disintegrated because of that omnipotent Satchidananda. Omnipotent, that requires omnipotence. Little power, little strength will not be able to tackle this whole issue of the creation of the universe and disintegration of it. Whole universe is integrated, disintegrated into a system and out of the system, out of gear. It's all due to Tasmin. In it will happen. Why in it? It's also called as Hiranya Garbha. Hitam Ramaniyam Garbham. That is, in it happens because it is omnipresent. It's in everything and everything is in it. This also I discussed. Tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasya bahyatah. This is a mantra from Ajurveda. Everything is in it and it is in everything. How everything is in it? Because that is the biggest. That's what we call as Brahman. Braha Brahi Vruddhav. The greatest, the largest, the biggest. So within that everything is there because that is the biggest. And that is in everything because it is the subtlest also. It is subtlest, biggest. Both qualities are there in it. So everything is in it and it is in everything. Tasmin, in it, everything gets integrated. In it, everything gets disintegrated. Everything, even sarvam. They are not excluding anything. The big canvas we have got for his creation is sarvam, tasmin, in that. That is Satchidananda. Tasmin idam samcha vichayiti sarvam. So, at one point of time or the other, yes, how this universe was made, how it is constituted, what are all its constituents, and who does it, why it does it, such questions will definitely should have faced at one point of time or the other. And this small piece of the mantra answers all those questions. Tasmin idam samcha vichayiti sarvam. The whole universe is created in that. It's integrated and the same thing gets disintegrated in it only. That's the biggest canvas. They're not going beyond it. And what is the limit of this canvas, we don't know. That's why we call Satchidananda as Asima, Ananta. We don't know. What is this one? To compare, yes, we have got what is known as light year. That is to calculate the distance we have got. Light year is a distance travelled by light in 1 year. Now what may be the distance? The very calculation itself is mind-boggling. It says the speed of light is 2 lakh kilometers per second. 2 lakh kilometers per second. By the time I say 1, the light would have traveled 2 lakh kilometers. That's the speed of the light. For 1 second. So into 60 is 1 minute. Into 60, 1 hour. Into 24, into 365, 1 year. Now imagine what that distance would be. And that is called as 1 light year. And how big is the universe? Other than sun, the next nearest star to the earth is 4 light years back. That's the closest star. Now imagine a star which is far off. How many light years it will be? And even then we have not reached the end of the universe. Even then. You see how big is the universe? Unimaginable, unimaginable. Now this whole universe, whose length, breadth, height, depth is unimaginable. He is the Garbha of Hiranya. That is the central point of the universe. Then what is its end? Where it is end? It's infinite. Tasmin, in that, yes, all integration, disintegration takes place. So please imagine, this is how Vedic science explains what is God. What does the Purana say? God is a small idol which is in your temple, which is in your church, or maybe in your mosque. It's possible. Uncomparable, even in our dreams. That very big, that very large, that very big thing is that Ananta thing is that God, that is Satchidananda. We can never compress it into that small idol, small photo, no. It's our ignorance, it's our ignorance. And what is the result of ignorance? Yes, we have discussed earlier. If you are ignorant, if you don't understand Rita, if you don't understand Satya, if you don't understand Punya, Satya is to understand a thing as it is. If I don't understand it, I am creating my own abyss and falling into it. That's the result. So let us be very careful. Let us understand things as they are. So what is that one? The whole creation is in it. And the whole destruction also in it. When I say creation, destruction, that is upon the first three entities. The first three entities are never created and they never get destroyed. What are the first three? Sat, Satchit, Satchidananda. Sat is the inner thing, Satchit is the Atma, and Satchidananda is Paramatma. And Paramatma is without end, is infinite. The whole thing gets integrated in it, the whole thing gets disintegrated. You see, this is Yajurveda 32.8. The previous piece of the mantra we said was in Rigveda 4.5.5. But we just go deep into it, you find both become one. This is complementary to that, that is complementary to this. Where is Rigveda? Where is Yajurveda? That is, every thought we have got, every knowledge we get from the Veda mantras, they are all in one direction. They are all focused. They are all converging to one truth. That's what we have to understand. Never in Vedas we find contradictory statements. Never. If you misunderstand, yes, there could be contradiction. But as it is, there is no contradiction. That's one of the wonderful features of Vedas. Not to be believed. I repeat again and again, not to be believed. We can verify. One proof I am giving it here. Rigveda 4.5.5 and Yajurveda 32.8, they match. They agree. The whole creation is in it and the whole disintegration also in it. It's a wonderful science. Even in modern science, they break their head to understand how this universe was created. And most of the time, they speak of the Sat part of it. How this universe was created by the elements, 108 elements, periodic table. And in them, they speak of atomic number, this and that, and how these atoms are created, subatomic level. Then they go for quarks, then they go for this and that, and finally they have come to God particle. And that's all. But any God particle or even a thing which is subtler than that cannot create itself, cannot integrate itself into the universe. It needs some intelligence, it needs some knowledge, which is not there in this Sat. It needs some Chit. Now they are still at the stage. But the Vedic science has gone to the deepest level. It's not to boast, it's a reality, we are seeing it. It says very clearly, yes, Sat is the raw material, we agree. The whole Sat was earlier in a raw form called Ambhaha. From that, some knowledge, some intelligence, it created using that. But that was not created by it, it was there available. The raw material was available. Using that, it created the 5 elements with different and distinct properties. And a combination of those 5 in different proportions, which you can think of. Now that has become this whole universe, which is visible, which is tangible, which is which can be experienced by sense organs. That's the universe. Now that is how it is created. For the creation, some another agency is required, because these five elements by themselves, the Mula Prakriti Ambaha by itself cannot convert itself into universe. An orderly universe, a systematic universe, a structure, it cannot. Because it doesn't have the chit, it doesn't have the prajna. See? So we have to think of something which is omniscient, which is omnipotent, which can handle this whole situation to create this universe. Now that is it. Tasmin nidam, samcha vichayiti sarvam, in which everything happens. So I have to think of a second entity, that is Satchidananda.